Hello, my fellow YouTube family. One thing, what I want to cover for a topic today is water storage, and I had to do a really important project on environmental, like drinking water quality, water report, or drinking water quality report. I live in Wisconsin, and I live by right on Lake Winnebago, right in the middle of Wisconsin. The population where I live in the city is Fond du Lac, which is has about 45,000 people. And you go around the lake, you have Neenah, Appleton, Oshkosh. There's a lot of different cities. I'm gonna say the population that lives around the lake, including the cities, is, let's say, probably about 250 to 300,000 people. Well, what I found really amazing, and how is this pertinent to us preppers, is that the drinking water quality report, I didn't realize, it's right here, we have 87 contaminants in the water. And that's very, very significant. And one of the leading chemicals that's dumped into the water, this is drinking water. I'm going to start in the beginning a little bit. Total contaminants recorded from 2004 to 2007. There's arsenic, nitrate, arsenic. Here's another, and that's another different kind of arsenic. Cadmium, copper, antimony. I don't know what that is. Barium, chromium, magnesium, thallium. Here's agricultural pollutants. I'll break down a little bit more by category. Agricultural pollutants alone, that which is dumped into the lake. This is drinking water. This is the biggest problem, one of the bigger lakes in the United States. That's why this is really important. People go swimming in this lake. 20 years ago, I remember nobody would go swimming in it. And every year they have a walleye weekend. It's, tons of walleye fish. Agricultural pollutants. Arsenic, nitrate, sprawl and urban pollutants that were dumped in the water. Arsenic, copper, lead, antimony, industrial pollutants. Arsenic, barium, cadmium, chromium, magnesium, nitrate, and strontium, antimony, thallium. There's a bunch of other words I can't really pronounce. Radium is very important. Water treatment and industrial pollutants alone were 19 different pollutants. Water treatment and distribution products, there's 9. One word I can't pronounce. Haloacetic acids, chloroform, and there's cadmium and a whole bunch of other words I can't really, I'm sorry, I really can't pronounce. Naturally occurring, agriculture, industrial developments, right? Arsenic, barium, copper, lead, nitrate, nitrite, alpha particle activity, radium, and uranium. Okay, potassium, gross beta particle activity. Then they have, in the last category, is unregulated contaminants. Lead, strontium, radon, potassium, and there's like 40, it says right here, 40 different other chemicals they just didn't add on because it would be too long. What the big thing is, what concerns me about this is we have choices. If there's any kind of catastrophe, disaster, let's say we go into a depression or whatever, what's one of the things we do? We save water. We have to have water. And one of the big things I did is I sterilized, well, at least I thought I did, I did, like milk cartons and containers like that. You right? Rinse them things out, and you know, super hot water, and you keep rinsing out these, you know, like your milk gallon, you know, of milk. Is I filled up tons of this stuff in water. Yeah, I'm thinking, you know, it's really good. You know, it has fluoride in it, chlorine, helps kill bacteria, blah 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 blah. But I also made sure that I put tons of bottled water I bought. But the thing is, it lets us think that, you know, see, I don't live about 100 feet from a river, and I live right by Lake Winnebago. And the thing is, we're thinking if there's a collapse, all we need is iodine or, you know, bleach, and, you know, or we can boil the water to sterilize and stuff like that. And that's one of my main reasons why I never bought one of the filtering systems. You know, and I just found this out last week, and for years I've been drinking this water along with my protein shakes. You know, taking showers in this water. You know, granted, a lot of it, contaminants and stuff like that, do get filtered out through the, you know, the water treatment center. But do we really want to be drinking arsenic? You know, radon, potassium, and stuff like that? Probably. I'd be very careful. I'd be very careful having that kind of things in my water storage like I did. Why does this really get me thinking? During the winter time, there's other elements that contribute to the pollution too. Since Lake Winnebago, there's always a couple knuckleheads that decide to go out in the lake in February, and they're going to drive on the lake and they're drinking, and the vehicle falls too. Well, first of all, you get grease from if you have a truck, you have grease on it. You have oil from transmission fluid, radiator fluid, a half tank gas, full tank gas, whatever. And these chemicals, they get spread out throughout the water. There's always a couple accidents every year doing that. What really made me think a lot about this problem right now is, since I live right in the center of Wisconsin, and that is where we get a lot of farming, you know, a lot of industry and stuff like that. I'm not out there in the woods, whatever, 50 miles from the next person, because this is one of the first. This is actually the first temperature I had in that's over 80 degrees, was like the last week, warm. This is the first time in history of my life, and I've lived here almost all my life, we've had temperatures in the 80s in March. Usually we have snow outside and water. We are going, in Wisconsin here, we are going to actually probably go to a drought. And I estimated probably about 6 to 8 weeks, you're going to see the grass is brown and stuff like that if we don't get any more water. This winter, we only got a total of 2 feet of snow. We didn't even get, I'm going to say, 15% of the snowfall we got as in the winter of 2010 and early 2011. We did not. I have a friend of mine, his son's, you know, one of the big wigs in the water department, and they said we are going to go into a drought, which we're going to see the Lake Winnebago, the waters recede terrifically. I mean, horrendously. And we're seeing the river levels. I live right next to the river, as I said before, and the levels are really low. Even by the rivers, fish can't go up spring to spawn. And something we need to think about is what's going to happen with the crops. Corn's a big thing in Wisconsin. Potatoes, your beans, onions, tomatoes, and stuff like that. If we don't get water out there on the, it's going to be very, very hard on farmers. We're going to see price of water go up. Price of food is definitely going to go up for as far as agriculture kind of things. There's not much water to even feed cattle, or don't give cattle water. You know, and we got cow. You know, we get these big farms in Wisconsin. If there's not a lot of water, you know, even water's going to have to get delivered to them. Last year, it was a scorcher here in Wisconsin, and we got so much more water, rainstorms, than we did this year. and snowfall. With the raising temperatures, more water is getting evaporated, of course, into the atmosphere, lithosphere, and stuff like that. And that's what's really, really got me thinking. We don't have much water. Prices of food is going to go up. We're seeing prices of gas go up the way it is. One last, there's, a couple more things I just want to cover. Sometimes we have to pay attention to what websites we go on. And, Southern Prepper 1 says it best. Don't spend all the time on YouTube just watching everybody else's videos. Live life. Be good. Do good things for other people. It's great making videos and watching. I got actually several videos from people I watch. I look forward every day. AJ Prepper, Southern Belle Prepper, Southern Prepper 1, Eastern Tennessee Prepper. I got other people I like. I don't sit here for 3 to 6 hours a day or whatever looking at everybody else's videos. But the thing is, we have to watch out who we watch. If you go on some of these sites, you see some people calling for a second civil war in the United States. That's kind of kooky. You have other sites that are, I looked at tons of sites expecting, a Greek economic collapse. Okay, they're in a depression. We can't deny that. But they were supposed to default on their loans. Everybody predicted. I mean, literally, I've seen hundreds of sites. March 20th default, which would in fact, we would see a droppage in our Dow Jones from 13,300 plus. We might see it go down several hundred points like it did last year. What it actually went from 12,000 roughly 800 points down to 10,300. And there's other points. People, a lot of these sites say we're going to war with Iran. Them are things we don't have control over. Don't worry about them. I was watching a site yesterday talking about Russia is doing massive military maneuvers. In the Caucasus. And one of their satellite states, and they're preparing to go to war with the United States and Israel, and they sent troops to help, to go into Syria and stuff like that. What we got to do is, we got to pay attention to, we don't get caught up in stuff like that. That stuff, it's hard enough. We're depressed the way we see our country going. We see. It is, we can't. We got to be happy. We got to, we got to live. We have children, and we got things we have to do in life, and that's what Jesus wanted us to do. He wanted us to be faithful, obedient, and enjoy life. It doesn't have to be difficult. Don't get caught up. Is that we're going into depression tomorrow morning? Will we go into depression? Probably, but it'll be more systematic. You're going to see, the economy just go a little bit at a time. But the thing is, that's why we're preparing with food storage and everything else that goes along with property. When times get difficult, if I turn around and lose my job today, I don't have to worry about food. That is why it's important to have food storage. If gas prices would skyrocket right here in Wisconsin, depending where you are, where I am, it's like $3.86 a gallon. And in the 2 months ago, it was like $3.17. So on my Ford Explorer, I'm paying an extra $10 a tank for gas. But if I'm running low on a little bit of money and I need money or gas, I can go to my food storage and use my, take food out of food storage, and have a little bit more money for gas. It's been able to adapt to situation and circumstances. Watch out, pay attention for these conspiracy theorists. That's, I don't plot against the government. We have to support the government. Obama took over a bad economic state of the United States, and there's tons of problems. Not just one man can do it, and this isn't a problem that's just going to happen or to get better over a 4-year period. But some of the things he does is screwy, probably. Like the National Defense Act and stuff like that, and that new martial law signature where he can declare martial law, whether it's a economic or military emergency or whatever. He can do it at any time, where the government can just come in and seize property, your trucks, food storage, firearms, because how many AR-15s are out there, AK-47s, ammunition, or whatever, you know, you know. But the thing is, don't get caught up in this stuff and worry. You know, I'm a